Good evening, Major fans, and welcome to another edition of the Major Rundown. I am your host, James Hill, and coming up today.
On this week's Major Rundown, we'll profile 3 team captains in different sports. First of all, we'll go inside the Hottest Fire volleyball team through the eyes of senior captain Kasey Laird. Then we'll visit with one of the captains of the men's soccer team, Taylor Harrison. And finally, we'll hit the links with the captain of the men's golf team, Chris Patton. Now, let's recap last weekend's action around the Major Nation. First of all, the football team is still undefeated in SAA conference play as the Majors whipped up on Sewanee 42-28 last Saturday at Harper Davis Field. Behind the running of Mike Barthélemy, the 5-1 Majors rolled up over 300 yards total offense in the first half alone and led 35-14 at the break. Barthélemy rushed for 122 yards on 14 carries for the day. Quarterback Garrett Pinciotti was steady Eddie once again, hitting 14 of 21 passes for 199 yards and 2 TDs. The senior also ran for a touch. And on defense, senior linebacker Jeb White got back in action with 12 tackles to lead the charge on that side. Next up for the Majors, they hit the road this coming Saturday for a battle with the Rhodes Lynx up in Memphis. Again, the Majors in the midst of a great season, 5-1 overall right now, and 2-0 in the Southern Athletic Association.
Well, I think you always feel good anytime you can win, 5 games, especially being 5-1 right now. But I think the great part about this football team is they're not really satisfied with where they're at right now. I think they feel like they should be 6-0, and we really take the approach that we're trying to get better every week and really look at every opponent as an individual season almost, and how important it is to win that game that week. So I'm happy with the way we're approaching it, and I'm happy with the record, but we still got a lot of work to do.
Now to that Hottest Fire volleyball team. The Majors faced a long road trip this weekend. On Friday, they beat the Center Colonels up in Kentucky 3-1. Senior captain Kasey Laird once again led the way with 12 kills. Then on Saturday in Tennessee, the Majors had a tough battle with Sewanee, but finally prevailed 3-2. Laird had 18 kills in that match, followed by Caroline Mackey with 14, and senior Raven Scott had 13 kills and 11 digs. Millsaps is now 16-4 overall and 10-2 in conference play, only one game behind Berry College with a big rematch set up for this coming weekend. The cross-country team competed at Choctaw Trails this past weekend. On the women's side, both junior Sarah Sachs and sophomore Belinda Solomon set new personal record times on the Choctaw Trails course. And for the men's team, freshman Jared Allen set a new course personal record with a time of 27:32, coming in 7th place among the non-Division I schools. And the men's and women's soccer teams were both at home Friday hosting the Rhodes Lynx. The men dropped a tough match 1-0 even though they outshot the Lynx 22-11. Rhodes got a first half goal and hung on for the win, and the women fell to Rhodes 4-0. That's a quick look at last weekend's action around the Major Nation.
Millsaps volleyball team is only one game behind Berry College. Part of the reason for their success is senior captain Kasey Laird, who has been phenomenal all season long. Major Rundown reporter Hugo Cordova caught up and interviewed Laird and asked her about her senior season.
Describe your role here on the Millsaps volleyball team.
I'm a captain on the Millsaps volleyball team. It's been very rewarding to have such a great group of girls look up to you. Is really inspiring. It's made me play harder and really focus on getting better every day. Raven Scott is a captain, but as a senior, we have 4 seniors this year, and we all work together as a team to really lead the team. And then I would say that Caroline Mackey and Taylor Ziegler are also very big.
So you've been a part of the program for all 4 years. How have you seen it grown since you first came into it?
Well, when I came in, we had 7 juniors that were on the team, and they really took the program into their hands, and they made our founding, which is unity, pride, and excellence. And ever since then, we've really focused on basing our program on unity, pride, and excellence. And if you look at our results over the past 4 years, that really shows that we have improved this program, and it's really become something that I think everyone on campus looks up to, which is really cool.
Can you tell us about your coach?
Coach Jamie she's probably one of the best coaches I've ever had. She knows the game inside and out, and she's also, she's still young, so she's able to relate with us as student athletes. She understands that we're students first, and she's very understanding about that when it comes to prioritizing classes or helping us with classwork. She's always there. And as a coach, she's very focused on the mental aspect of the game as well. So she's definitely improved my talent and my mental aspect.
Can you tell us about how you see yourself helping your coach and what you can add to the team that maybe she can't?
Well, there's always times where situations come up when it's hard to go to your coach and talk. So I feel like the girls are able to come and talk to me about some of their problems, and if necessary, I can bring them to coach, and if not, I can handle them.
Now, did she contact you in high school, or how did you hear about us?
I'm actually a transfer student. So I was recruited by Coach Matt, who was here prior to Coach Jamie. And then after my first year of college, I decided that I really wanted to come to Millsaps, and I really wanted to be a part of the Millsaps program. So I contacted her and talked to her and came up here for a visit, and ever since then decided to come here after that visit, and now I'm here.
How has the program grown since you were a freshman to where you are now? Can we talk about your status as a competitive volleyball team within the conference?
Well, my freshman year, we went into conference, and I think we placed 10th or 11th, which isn't very good at all. And then every year we've increased since then. The year after that, we came in 5th, and then last year we came in 4th, which was the first time that any team, I believe, in Millsaps history has come in 4th. And of course, this year we're planning on coming first in the new conference of the SAA.
This year, y'all are 11-4, which is a great position to be in. But you expressed to me that you kind of suffered a stinger against Berry College. Can you tell us about that game?
Well, we went in very confident that we could beat Berry, and I think we're all still confident that the next time we play them, that we will beat them. But we definitely didn't give them our A game, which is where that hurts. But the next morning, we reflected on it that night. The next morning, we had a team meeting and discussed some things that we needed to change, and where we needed to change in practice and game situations. And then that afternoon, we went to Oglethorpe, and we wound up beating Oglethorpe in 3. So it was a very nice comeback after such a hard loss the night before.
How important is it to have that confidence or swagger, per se? Like, do you advocate strongly for that, being a captain?
I think that I'm a huge advocate for that. I've kind of lived by the saying of fake it until you make it. If you don't believe that you're the best, then you really never will be the best. So I'm always a fan of being confident with a little bit of cockiness.
Can you talk about intensity? How important is that?
Our team feeds off of intensity. I think me and Raven are probably the most intense on the team, but we both feed off of our other teammates. So if our other teammate gets a big kill or a big dig, that pumps us up even more. And so when our team doesn't play with a lot of intensity, we tend to play flat or not play so well. So we try and always bring a lot of intensity to practice and to games to make our performance the best possible.
How important is teamwork and unity? For those people who aren't so familiar with the way volleyball works, how many people are on the court, and how do y'all work together?
There's 6 people on the court at a time, and it's very interesting because you have a defense and an offense that has to work together. So if your defense doesn't do its job, then the offense never gets the opportunity to do a job either. But the same that if the offensive team doesn't put down a hard-driven ball, then it makes the job very difficult on the defense to play behind them. So offensive and defense always have to play together, which if you don't know volleyball, you don't really see that, but that's the trick to volleyball, is to play together as an offense and a defense.
What position do you play?
I'm a middle blocker.
What's your preference between offense and defense?
I prefer to be on offense. There's nothing better to me than going up and getting a big kill off of like a perfect set from your setter.
I want to talk about you being a student athlete. How has being a part of the Millsaps volleyball program, how has that helped you develop yourself as a student?
Being a student athlete, you definitely have to prioritize your time better than non-student athletes. You know, coming from class and then going straight to practice at night, you really have to buckle down and focus and get your work done. But if you can do that and if you can manage your time wisely, then you'll have no problem being a student athlete at Millsaps College.
I want to go back to the game setting. Do you ever do any direct communication during a match as a captain? What do you often find yourself saying to your teammates?
I find that I'm more of the motivational type of player. If one of my teammates is down, I'll walk over to them and say, hey, you got this next ball, or hey, you got this swing, you got this pass. But there's constant communication between me and each one of my teammates. You know, just talking about the next play coming up, maybe the play that we should be running or the shots that are open on our opponent's court. That's where the communication comes from.
Who do you look up to in the volleyball world?
I would say that my biggest role model would be Misty May or Carrie Walsh. Seeing them compete at such a high level is always inspiring.
We'll take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with senior men's soccer player Taylor Harrison.
It's a new day in Jackson television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Hinds counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV.
Defense has been a key this season for the Majors. In their last 3 games, they have only given up 2 goals and have come away with 2 clean sheets. Part of the reason for that is senior captain Taylor Harrison.
This year's Millsaps men's soccer team is relying heavily on senior leadership. Today we caught up with one of those senior leaders, Taylor Harrison, from Hendersonville, Tennessee. We talked to him a little bit about his role as a senior leader and why he chose Millsaps. So what brought you to Millsaps, Taylor?
Well, I came on my visit here and I spent a lot of time with Drew Morrow and kind of just fell in love with the team. They didn't really have a winning culture at the time, but Drew sold me on the idea of creating a team that would eventually be a winning team, and though the process has been kind of slow, I think that we're well on our way to achieving that goal. And
Coach Johnson earlier this year when we interviewed him cited you as one of the senior leaders on the team. How does that make you feel? Are you happy to play that role?
I'd love to play that role, and I think everyone in my class is qualified. We're lucky to have such a good group of seniors that all of us can lead, and they hold me accountable. I hope that I hold them accountable whenever I can, and you know, I'm glad I could step up and take that role. Steven and Chris have played a big part in doing that as well.
Last year you had 2 goals. You led the team. You also had 2 assists. I believe that's correct. What expectations goal-wise do you have this year? Do you want to beat that 2-goal record you set last season?
I don't care who scores the goals. I just know that as a team we scored, I believe it was 9 goals. And we've already surpassed that, and you know, if I can score 15, awesome. if someone else can score 15, I don't care who it is, it just needs to happen. And it's still a problem that we suffer from. I think if we could put a few more away, we'd probably be undefeated in conference right now, but we're still looking good going forward.
Well, tell us what you're studying here at Millsaps, Taylor.
I'm studying accounting.
And what do you hope to do with that degree one day?
You know, hopefully get a job, maybe in tax or auditing. I guess those are my options. I guess plan on sitting down and thinking about that a little bit more seriously after this season's over. Got about a month left.
Do you find it easy or hard to balance academics with your athletics here at Millsaps?
I think athletics makes it a little bit easier. You have your coach holding you accountable, and I know that there's several accounting majors on the soccer team, and we're all incredibly competitive, which I think pushes me to do the best that I can in my classes.
So you played soccer in high school. I saw that you were also two-time All-State. What made you choose soccer as a sport in general, even from childhood?
Well, honestly, I tried a lot of things, and I played football, golf, tennis, basketball, and literally one day my mom bought me a t-shirt that said World Cup. I think it was '98, the one that was in France, and I asked my parents if I could play soccer, and here I am. Do
you have any interests or hobbies outside of soccer here at Millsaps or just in general in life?
Well, out of all the sports that I played, I really enjoyed golf. Unfortunately, I wasn't good enough to play competitively, but I still like to get out there with a couple of the guys on the soccer team. It's probably my only real hobby outside of soccer.
So as I said, Coach Johnson cited you as a leader. You guys have a foreign coach this year, a new assistant coach. What do you think about Coach Johnson? How's he doing with this year's team?
Coach Johnson's doing a great job. Him and Steve, I think, complement each other really well. They both have valuable insight to the game, and when one of them doesn't see something, it's always good to have an extra set of eyes, and I think both of them are good guys to have critiquing us and pointing us in the right direction.
Yeah, Coach Johnson was saying that the camaraderie on this year's team has been up a little more. It's more of a gelled team, a better bond, if you will. Since you're a senior, tell us how it's been in the past and how it's different now.
Well, in past years, I think everyone's been close, but there's always a gap between freshmen and seniors, and the seniors set out this year just to make sure that the freshmen felt welcome, and it started by coming in a little bit earlier and just playing soccer and getting to know these guys. And I think that the gap between the freshmen and the seniors is pretty much eliminated, and I think I can't speak for the freshmen, but I'm pretty certain that they feel pretty comfortable this year, and it's really helped moving forward.
So you mentioned that Drew Morrow, one of the upperclassmen, had reeled you into Millsaps. If you were to give a recruiting pitch to a prospective student or a prospective soccer player, what would that be like?
Well, I just make sure that they know that despite our history has been rough at times, but we've got a good group of guys, and we've really focused on creating a winning atmosphere. And I think this year's the first year that we truly expect to win every game that we take the field. And once goals start falling our way, it'll be a reality. And I think that guys that care about soccer and being part of something new, like they would be proud to say that they helped build that team.
It's a new day in Jackson television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Hinds counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV.
I'm from Alpharetta, Georgia, and I started golf my freshman year of high school, and I played baseball and then started playing golf just randomly and then fell in love with it.
What is it about golf that you fell in love with?
Competition, it's not, you want to perfect it, but it's impossible to perfect. So I guess the competition is what makes me come back every day.
Phenomenal young man. Outside of golf, you know, strengths of Chris are just does everything that you ask of him as a coach. You know, always on time, phenomenal student athlete, and is a very, very hard worker. Pours his heart and soul into everything that he does, and sees a lot of good results because of that.
What are your strengths and what do you need to work on right now in your golf game?
My strengths, I have very good all-around skills. My last tournament I had trouble putting, that was about it. If anything, it's more psychological, just knowing that I can be better and go out and win some tournaments. It's the next step.
When I first got here, Chris had a couple of things that were a little off in his golf swing. We've spent a good solid year improving that, and we saw those changes take effect when the rankings came out for the guys, because Chris, after 1 year of being helping him out and really working hard with Chris, we're seeing the results, because now he's ranked in the top 150 golfers in Division III as well.
In high school, what was your high school golfing career like?
I had a very successful high school golf career. I got injured my junior and senior year, so I kind of didn't think I was going to play golf. But my junior year, I really broke out, had a very good all-state and one region.
I assume you knew you wanted to continue golfing in college?
At the time, I didn't, but once I met Coach Gardner, Doug, and got recruited, I decided that I wanted to try golf again, pick it back up.
And why did you choose Millsaps?
Education. And I wanted to play golf, so it gave me an opportunity to play golf and get an education.
So the academic reputation of Millsaps was one of the biggest reasons why you chose this school?
Yes, I had never heard of it until I read the book, or my dad read the book, Colleges That Change Lives, and then I decided that the reputation was good enough for me to try it out.
So what class are you right now?
I'm a junior.
How have your first 2 years been balancing that academic and athletic world here?
Freshman year was tough, but sophomore year got easy, and this year it feels like a breeze. So I think I've got it figured out now.
You're smarter than most folks, Chris.
It's managing your time, that's all it is.
Yeah. Best round of golf you've ever had?
66.
When?
My junior year. I had a tournament over there, and I was actually late for my tee time. I wasn't late. I was 10 minutes, so I didn't get to warm up. Just went out, and it was a pretty amazing round.
So now, are you late on purpose every match now?
No. 45 minutes.
That sounds like pretty much a dream round of golf. What's your ideal round of golf?
My ideal round of golf is no frustration, no headaches, which is near impossible with golf. So I guess shooting another 66. Anything under par makes you feel happy, which I haven't done in a while, but I'm working at it.
Are you cool on the course? Are you animated? What's your personality like?
I've been working on it, but my freshman year I was very grumpy, and the sophomore year I was very frustrated.
How far do you drive, Chris?
And I switched coaches this past year, and he's really working on me, trying to just be happy and accept things. So less yelling and more smiling.
So describe Coach Brescher and the Millsaps golf program right now.
Coach Brescher, his heart's in it. He works very hard. He's done a lot of good things for the team, and it's going in the right direction. The golf team is slowly developing. We've added a lot of depth, and it's got a lot of potential in the near future. Even most likely by the time I leave, it will be top program in the nation.
What's your role as the captain of the team?
Just leadership, show hard work. I'm a hard worker, so everything I do is 110%. I wake up and say I can do things and work as hard as I can.
Anything funny or unusual ever happened to you on the golf course that you can tell us?
Yes, I've had a few. I've hit a flop shot and it's hit me in the nose. So I've hit myself with a golf ball in a round. That was a funny one. Had a bloody nose.
Have you got any traditions, idiosyncrasies, or anything that you have to do the same way before every match? Put on the socks the same way or whatever?
Look good. If you're going to play good, you got to look good. That's
your
motto.
philosophy, huh?
Well, I haven't been playing good, but when I do, I'm going to look good and play good.
It's a new day in Jackson television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Hinds counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV. Coming up this weekend, there's a huge slate of action for the Millsaps Majors. First of all, on campus, it's Paint It Black weekend with some of the biggest games of the fall seasons. On Friday, first of all, the men's and women's soccer teams play host to Oglethorpe. Women's game at 5 and the men follow up at 7 p.m. on Harper Davis Field. The first 100 fans in the stadium will receive free blackout shirts to support the Millsaps Major teams. Then on Saturday afternoon, you do not want to miss this one. The Hangar Dome will definitely be rocking as the top two volleyball teams in the SAA conference go face-to-face in a huge rematch at 2 p.m. Berry College leads Millsaps by only one game in the conference standings, and the Majors have been eyeing this one since dropping a 3-1 match to the Vikings back on September 28th.
Well, we went in very confident that we could beat Berry, and I think we're all still confident that the next time we play them, that we will beat them. But we definitely didn't give them our A game, which is where that hurts. But the next morning, we reflected on it that night. The next morning, we had a team meeting and discussed some things that we needed to change and where we needed to change in practice and game situations. And then that afternoon, we went to Oglethorpe, and we wound up beating Oglethorpe in 3. So it was a very nice comeback after such a hard loss the night before.
If Millsaps sweeps Berry 3-0, the Majors will take over the lead in the conference. And again, the first 100 fans in the Hangar Dome will get free blackout shirts. So get to the Dome early for this huge rematch between Berry College and the Millsaps Majors volleyball teams. Also on Saturday, the 5-1 football team travels to Memphis to face the Rhodes Link. The Majors are still undefeated in SAA conference play at 2-0.